What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we're going to be installing some coilovers on the is300. Now I got too excited, I only opened up one, but the rest are in there. But right here you can see brand new coilovers. You already know, CX Racing. So the main reason, well, there's actually three reasons. The three reasons I went with CX Racing over like BC's or any other coilover is the first being that they're pretty cheap. They're not like eBay cheap, but they are a bit cheaper than BC's. BC's run about from 1,000, actually from 900 to like 1,200, somewhere in between there. These were like 700 shipped and everything. I know I should have just, like, you guys might say I should have just paid the $200 extra or the $300 extra and got some BC's, but I've never driven a car with BC's, so I can't really say if they're good or not. And that being the second reason, I've already driven a car very similar to the IS with these same exact coilovers, and they ride like perfect. And the third reason being they go pretty damn low. So I've had problems in the past where I max out my coilovers and they still don't go low, so I have to do like some hack stuff to make them go a little bit lower. And I'm thinking with these they're gonna go as low as I want, so that's a plus. And the car that I've driven with this same coilovers is this car right here. It is a E90. I don't know if it's gonna focus. It's a E90 328i. Like I said, same exact coilovers. I've never driven one of those cars. By the way, that's my old car. It is now my sister's. But I've never driven one of those cars with factory suspension, so I can't really give a comparison of like how it feels compared to stock. But in my opinion, I think that those coilovers, or like how that car drives, it drives pretty much like a factory car would, just a little bit stiffer, which is perfect for what I want. It's a perfect daily, and I kind of want to do the same with the IS. The only difference is that the Beamer is a bit heavier, and that these coilovers, the spring rates, are a little stiffer than the ones on that car. Actually, I don't know what the spring rates are on those, but I know these are, I think, 14K in the front and 12 in the rear, or 12 in the front and 10 in the rear. But it's gonna feel very similar, and like I said, I've already driven that car. That used to be my car. I've driven it, so I know how CX Racing coilovers feel. I know in the past they've made some cheap stuff, and people have always thought like, oh, aren't they like eBay quality, like this and that? But after driving that car, guys, I have no complaints about the coilovers. So that's why I went with the same coilovers for the IS. But enough of me talking, let's get straight into the video. I forgot to show you guys, but we got all the interior out right here. Got the two side pieces, the bottom, and you know what's crazy, guys? The is300, I never knew this. I don't know if it's just mine. I doubt it, but the is300 has a full-size spare, which is pretty cool, because usually most cars have like a little donut, and this has like a full-size spare. I think I'm gonna replace this one with my wheel over here because it's kind of like really messed up. You can see it's like really like, it's old, obviously. Got that coilover installed over here. I'm just kidding, guys. It's just because I have it jacked up over there. But I want to be a little lower than this if possible with the coilovers, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a full race car back here. Super clean. Obviously, obviously there's like dirt and stuff, but like, not damaged is what I mean, like clean, like straight. But yeah, what I did to get those two clips is I got two screwdrivers, and then I would just pry them like this and then wiggle it out little by little. It took like 3 times, and then got them all out. Didn't break any, at least I hope. And yeah, it's just these 3 bolts right here, and then the 2 in the bottom, but I'll show you guys those right now. Let me show you the fronts because I have that all taken apart. It's gonna be the 3 up here. I believe they're 14 mils, and then you're gonna want to remove this thing right here. I believe that's, I don't know what that is, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but it says it's hot, so yeah, watch out. And then the brake line right here, that bottom bolt down there, and then I'm gonna try not to mess with this and not like take it off, but if I have to, then I'm gonna try hammering it before I get the fork in there, because the fork will mess the, sorry guys, I'm out of breath. The fork will mess up the little rubber, it will rip it. So I'm gonna try to smack it out, and if that doesn't work, then I'll use the forks. But yeah, this should be fairly simple in the front. Alright guys, we got the first one all taken apart. I did end up having to take out the little ball joint, little castle nut. But yeah, we also had to remove this one, the sway bar end link. That's not it, yeah, it's right here. That goes right there because the sway bar on the other side has like tension, so it wants to push up. But we just took that one off, and then like I said, we took this one off, and then it just literally fell right out. So I'll just give you guys a side-by-side comparison. Obviously these are going to be, the coilovers are going to be a lot smaller, because when you put these on the car, they might shrink a few millimeters, and these are going to shrink a lot more. So you also have to take that into consideration, not just because they look smaller, they're going to be way smaller. But these are going to be a lot lower than these for sure. But yeah, just so you guys know, if you guys see it like side by side, don't be like, oh, it's like almost half the size. It's not really, because these springs are really like soft, so they, you know, they compress, and these are really stiff, so they don't really compress that much. But now that I'm looking at it, I don't think they're gonna go as low as I want them to go, but they are gonna go pretty low, just not as low as I want. I'm gonna max them out, hope for the best. Alright guys, so it's now bolted up on the top, and now I'm gonna adjust my preload. As you can see, the spring's kind of loose in there, so I'm gonna tighten this top one up just with my hands, just until it's not floppy in there anymore. It's still a little floppy. Alright, now it's kind of getting a little tighter. Alright, so now like that, you can't really move it up and down. And then you're going to want to put this middle one right up to it, hand tighten it. Okay, went a little too far. And then you're going to want to turn this top one until you can fit the spanner wrench in between. A little more. And there you go. You can see that it fits in there now. So you want to make this one go up to it, and then you want to tighten it. I can't do it with two hands, but you're going to want to put a spanner wrench right here and turn it right. And then you're going to want to turn this one this way away from each other so it tightens, and then that's all good to go. And then you just adjust your height, and then you'll be set. Alright guys, so that didn't go as expected. I was expecting it to be a lot taller, not this low. And I'm actually surprised, because on the coilovers I was like, it might be a little too low. So I raised it up an inch before I even like did all the, you know, this. And then I dropped it, and yeah, I'm almost tucking 17. So yeah, that's pretty low. So yeah, if you guys want the coilovers that go really low, highly recommend these. I'm almost tucking 17s, and I have another inch to drop. So if I really wanted to, I could probably tuck 17s easy. But yeah, this is my daily, so I can't really, you know, have it like this. Just give you a little. Dude, this thing is literally dumped. Like, there's no way I'm making it out of my driveway. Like, my driveway is super steep. But yeah, I think I'm gonna continue the rears tomorrow after work, and then for now I'm just gonna raise the front probably like another inch. I thought it was perfect the way it was when it was in the air. What's going on, guys? It's the next morning. For you guys it's just 1 second, but before I do anything today, I have to raise the fronts because the car is a little too low to drive. I mean, I could drive it, but I don't want to rip my front bumper off, and then the inner fender lining is still in there, so I don't want to rip that out. I kind of want to remove it like proper. So I think I'm gonna raise it. Super weird to say raise. I think I'm gonna raise this side another 2.5 inches, and then 1.5 inches on this side, because I did raise it up an inch yesterday just to see if I liked it. And this is like almost perfect, like how I want it just for now. But I'd rather raise it and drive it like with the coilovers kind of like not slammed, and then once I get comfortable, then lower it back to this height, rather than, you know, taking off with it being super low, and then like I don't even know if it's gonna rub on my fenders and buckle them. And that's the thing I'm mostly scared about, is buckling my fenders. So yeah, I'm gonna raise this side, raise that side, and then I'm gonna flip it around so I could back it up into my driveway, and then start tearing the whole rear suspension out so I could install the rear coilovers right there. No lie, it took me like half an hour just to turn my car around. So yeah, it is now on the driveway. The reason it was so hard is because, one, the front is kind of low, and then two, since the rear is so high, it kind of pushes the front even more down. and my driveway's steep, so it doesn't help. And then it's been raining recently, so there's like water going down, and then I tried putting some wood and the water would just like take my wood away, and it's just me solo today, so it was making it kind of hard. But she's on the driveway now. Time to get the rear coilovers in. Alright guys, I already did the passenger side. I just wanted to, you know, do everything before I show you guys, so I don't give you guys false information. But you can see coilover is in there. I still haven't adjusted the height, but I put the wheel, and it's about like 3 inches from fender to lip. That's how I'm measuring it, fender to lip. I kind of want it to be like the rear, which is 2.5 inches, I believe, or 2 inches. Yeah, I want to install the other coilover first, and then I could hook up my sway bar end link, and then I could adjust both, and then go from there. But yeah, now we just gotta get all my tools ready right here. Now I gotta get rid of this wheel gap right here. Factory struts now out, and now coilover's in. I'm just gonna tighten that up. One thing I forgot to mention before you lower the rear LCA is you have to remove this part right here. It goes on the same bolt as the sway bar end link, so it goes through the LCA, and then the nut threads on back here. And this is like a little sensor for the leveling height adjustment or something like that. There's only 2 of these. There's one in the back, which is on the driver's side, and there's one on the front, which is also on the driver's side. So if you're doing this on the passenger side, you don't have to do that, but just remember, on the driver's side, on both front and rear, you have to be careful with this sensor because it does go connected to the bottom LCA, and you don't want to drop this and then that still be connected to it. Like, you don't want to take this top bolt out, because then this bottom one's still going to be on, and it's just going to yank on that, and then it might break it. So yeah, I just forgot to mention that. One tip I thought I'd show you guys, I don't know if this is common sense or not, but I didn't know about this, so I'm just going to tell you guys. If you want to put the sway bar end link in, I was trying to shove it straight down in there, and I was hammering it, and it wasn't going in, you know, for the life of me. So then I just kind of pulled it back almost to where the coilover bolt in, and it just slides in and then goes to where it needs to go, and then you just feed the bolt. It's that simple. Alright guys, all the coilovers are now installed. The fronts I think are good for now. The rears, I think I'm going to lower it like another inch or so. Just so it's a little lower than the rear, because the rear tires are a little fatter. So I'm going to lower the rear probably another inch on this side, and then on this side, like I said, probably another inch or so. Alright guys, so I'm going to measure this, see where it's at. That's almost 2 inches, so I'm going to raise this bottom collar up about 1/2 inch. A little bit more. That should be fine, I guess. In order to raise it, you would want to use the bottom collar, and in order to lower it, you'd want to use the top collar and turn it like that. That's to lower it. And then, let me see if I can do it one-handed. And then like that would be to raise it. Alright guys, here's the finished product. She's all nice and lowered. I did lower the rear a bit more because when I put my other wheels on, I want to be tucking the rears. But yeah, I'm just gonna drive it like this for a few days, and hopefully it doesn't lower itself too much. The main thing that scares me is the front. I don't want to like buckle my fenders, because this car is like mint condition, and that would really piss me off if I buckle my fenders. But yeah, the rear doesn't really bother me because obviously they don't turn, but I do have to get an alignment. But I'd rather wait until I throw my other wheels on, because then I might either lower it some more or raise it up a bit. I'll see then, and then once I do all that with my other wheels, like my other wheel setup, then I'll get a proper alignment and, you know, be all squared away. But yeah, I just drove it right now, and the rear settled like ½ inch. The front didn't really settle. It's like the gap is like a 2.5 from fender to lip is what I'm measuring. So the front is 2.5 inches, and the rear is 2 inches, I believe. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, they're brand new coilovers, so they are gonna settle a bit more. Hopefully they don't settle like another ½ inch, which I'm pretty sure they will, but hopefully they don't settle too much, because I already hear something rubbing in the front. I'm pretty sure it's the inner fender liner, so I might have to remove that or cut it. But I want to drive it a bit more so I could see exactly where it's rubbing, because right now I can't really see anything. So once I see it rub through something, then I'll know it's right there, if that makes any sense. But yeah guys, it looks so much better like this. Like, if you have is300 and you don't want to do much mods to it, the only thing I would recommend doing is getting some coilovers and lowering it, maybe not this much, a little bit less, but like, these cars look so nice with their stock IS wheels. I don't know if it's just me, but I love these wheels and I love these cars, and together they make a perfect combo. Like, good job Toyota and Lexus. But yeah, I do have to get another wheel, another stock is300 wheel, because the one that came with the car, obviously is an older car, is a little beat up. And yeah, I kind of want to have a nice looking wheel, so I'm going to get a new wheel for this one right here. But yeah, I haven't installed any of the rear like trim pieces in the trunk just yet, just in case I have to do anything else. I don't want to rip that all out again, so I'm going to drive it like this for a few days. Once I know it's good and, you know, all that, then I'll throw my rear trim back on, and then my car will be set.